Yatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata. Okay, yesterday we were doing the four essentials. Anyone who has the four essentials on the fingertips? The four essentials on the fingertips. Okay, anyone who has on fingertips? Yes, I know Sonula has, and Tejala has, Gorilla has, Ravi has, Raviji has. Anyone else? The four essentials on the fingertips. Okay, I know she has. Your name? Tal. Tal. The four essentials. Anu, okay. Rahul? What are the four essentials? Yes. Wonderful. It's the essential of understanding. Oh, at least you gave me 70%. Thank you. 72%. You gave me 72. Good. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? The four essentials, we must have them on the fingertips. Anyone? No? Okay, yes. Gorilla. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes.
Is there any easier version? English-wise, like it seems like very. I request you to rephrase it.
This is philosophy?
No, like the first.
Listen. The language, when you convey the philosophy, it can make you go through headache. It can really make you, it's not the language, it's the philosophy that makes you feel, to convey the concepts. For example, quantum mechanics, right? Quantum mechanics, when you study this, you will feel that this is not very English. It's not English. Philosophy likewise. So it is only through getting to these, the concepts, you get these concepts, then you realize there's no option other than, this is how it works. Concepts, they are so intertwined, you think there is a language problem. It's not a language problem. Okay, good. The four essentials. Okay, now, read the book. Wherever you have noted down. No, where you noted down the four essentials. Yeah, where you noted down the four essentials yesterday. Yeah, raise hands. That's easy. Okay, the first essential.
Identifying the essential of identifying the object of negation.
Perfect. Second essential.
Essential of understanding emptiness or objectively, intrinsically being of its parts.
One with its parts. One with its parts. Yes, number 3. Good. And this,
Essential of understanding the correlation that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and different from its parts entails the emptiness of the objectivity of the object.
very good. Okay. So of the form, we finished which one? First, second, and third, or first one? We finished 3. Huh? Second, third, we finished. Then? Okay, so in other words, from the 4 essentials, how many of the essentials we covered? The 1 we covered. 1 we covered. Okay, 1. Okay, let us quickly review it. They say the first essential of identifying the object of negation. For this, what we need to know, the first one is, what does it mean by object of negation? This is. So, object of negation means, when you say that there is no elephant in this house, you negate the presence of elephants in this house, or you negate the elephant in this house. Or let's say then, this pen is not an elephant. What's negated? This pen being elephant is negated. So when we say, this pen, the Buddha in the Heart Sutra, the Buddha indicated, form is empty. So this empty, form is non-existent. Does it mean that? It doesn't mean that. What does it mean? What did the Buddha mean when the Buddha said the form is empty? Jane? That the form is empty from its own side. Or, you remember the 5 points? You remember the 5 points? 5 points to understand emptiness means dependent origination. You know that? You remember those 5 points? Okay, those who are reasons, those who are from the CGS group. Those who are from CGS group. Reasoned. From CGS group. You're from CGS group or not? Huh? You're not. Not from CGS group. CGS, just identify your friends. Look, even he doesn't know that who's CJ, right? He's fully absorbed with emptiness. That's amazing. Okay, identify those people who are from CJ's group. So look, those people, from CJ group, CJ so beautifully explained, with their hands. Right, CJ? With the 2 hands, he explained so beautifully how dependent origination, how emptiness means dependent origination, how dependent origin means the middle way, and the first part, how emptiness means dependent origin, 5 points. Okay, what are the 5 points? Hey. The first one is emptiness. What is the second one? Emptiness means emptiness is the short form of emptiness of independent existence. So when you say this pen is empty, form is empty, it doesn't mean empty. It means it's empty of independent existence. As simple as that. At least you try to, don't let me spoon-feed you. Right? Don't let me spoon-feed you. So whatever we learned earlier, try to be able to take them from here. What it means by form is empty? It means form is empty of independent existence. You're getting it? Or form is empty of objective existence. You're getting it? Okay, this is how we should be able to bring whatever we learned here. They're not necessary that, everybody has to say A equals B, B equals C, therefore A equals C. A equals C, you should be able to draw it. Okay, so when you say that the pen is empty, it means the pen is empty of independent existence, or the pen is empty of existence from its own side. The pen is empty of objective existence. Okay. Now, when you say that this pen is not a chocolate, you negate what? This pen being a chocolate is negated. This pen is not independently existent. What is negated? The pen being independent existence is negated. So, what is the object of negation of emptiness of the pen? independent existence of the pen is the objective negation of the emptiness of the pen. You getting it? Ipshita, you got it? Your mind is somewhere else. I can see that. You got it? Wonderful. Okay. Can you paraphrase that to me?
Yes. So the first one.
The pen is not. The pen is empty. So begin from there.
That means the pen is empty of this independent existence.
Wonderful. So what is object negation?
That means it does not exist independently as a pen.
So your mind is somewhere else. You forgot my question. I said, what's object negation?
Object negation of pen. Okay, I
Independent existence of the pen. You're getting it? Okay. So what is the object negation? Emptiness of the pen? Okay, all of us. What is the object negation of the emptiness of the pen? Independent existence of the pen is the object negation of the emptiness of the pen. Very good. So there are two questions when identifying the object negation. The first one is, what is the object negation of the emptiness of the pen? The answer is, independent existence of the pen is the object negation of the pen. Second question, what does it mean by independent existence of the pen? The same question. What does it mean by independent existence or the objective existence of the pen? What does it mean by objective existence of the pen? Anybody? Anyone? What does it mean by this pen is not elephant? What's the object negation? Elephant. What is the meaning of elephant? This pen is not elephant, it's elephant. Is this? So, what's the meaning of objective existence? I do not say it exists objectively, not exist. This is not my question. My question, what do you mean by objective existence? You want to go to negate it? To negate it, you have to know what it is. Do you know that I've Langchin in my pocket? What's your name? Ayushi, do you know that Langchin is in my pocket? How come? No, I'm Ayush. Do you know the elephant is in my pocket? No, do you know that? Okay. Do you know that the pearl is in my pocket? Why? You don't know that. Why not? Is there pearl in my pocket or not? Is pearl, is it in my pocket? Huh?
What is
Exactly. Okay. What is pearl? Without knowing what is pearl, you cannot decide whether it is in my pocket. Pearl means Tibet. Right? Without knowing what is pearl, you cannot decide whether it is. So you identify pearl. Pearl means Tibet. Pearl, is it in my pocket? No. Likewise, to say the pen is not objectively real. You have to know what is objectively real. What do you mean by objectively real? Hey, what's the meaning of objective reality, objective existence? Matthews? Something which is independent and exists from its own side. Whereas Ayush was explaining something which is that the pen is not from this objective side, right? So, but when you say identify object negation, you have to identify the way Matthews identified it. It's not about is or is not. It's about something which exists from, whether it exists or not, this is a different story. That it exists from its own side. Or it has many connotations, or it can be expressed in many ways, many words. Anybody else? What is meant by objective existence of the pen? Anyone? Something, the pen existing inherently. Very good. Very good. Anybody else? Yes, Anu? Something which does not exist subjectively, but existing objectively. Something is independent of subjective existence. Yes, over there? Existing independent of one's thoughts. Very good. Okay, so, yes. Yes.
The question is, when we say that we equated these two, or we say these two are synonymous, which is like objective existence or independent existence. So it just happens that something which is independent also happens to be objective, or are these two exactly same thing? Something I'm confused about.
Okay. Let's say, do you have an elephant? Do you have an elephant? Hey Kabir, do you have an elephant? No answer. Do you have elephant? Be it here in Deer Park or outside in a place, wherever. Just say no, that's it. You're getting it? Your elephant and your Langshin, these two are synonymous. Langshin is elephant. Your Langshin and the elephant, these two are synonymous. It doesn't mean that your Langshin should be elephant. It's no elephant because it doesn't exist. Although it is non-existent, still we can talk about the synonymity of the two. You're getting it? Objective existence and independent existence don't exist. But they're synonymous in ways that when you reject independent existence, you reject objective existence. You reject objective existence, you reject independent existence. These two are the two labels with the same referent. Right? Okay. So yes.
Is that what it means, that this whatever object that is, let's give it a name, let's say, for our better understanding, association learning, pen. So
Yeah.
pen doesn't exist as an absolute pen. Is that what?
Perfect. Yeah. So the pen does not exist as an absolute pen. Pen does not exist as objective pen. Pen doesn't exist as independent pen. This is it. So independent pen, independent existence, absolute existence, or what do you call it? Objective existence of the pen. These are all object negation. Okay, good. Now how to negate it? Does it exist or not? That the pen existing independently, does it exist or not? Independent existent pen or objectively existent pen, does it exist? Objectively existent pen, it does not exist. How can you say that it does not exist? How can you say that it does not exist? This is a question. Anybody?
Because it's dependent on
Depend on what?
causes.
Yes, of course it exists. It exists independently. It's independently, objectively coming from its cause. Objectively coming from the cause. Your mind has nothing to do with this. So you know that it comes from the cause. Still, you can believe it to be objectively real. Anybody else? How do you reject a pen to be existing objectively? Rahul? How do you know that? Okay, so we have to go through the four essentials. Very good. Anybody else?
When we put it through the ultimate analysis,
Okay, when we subject this pen to ultimate analysis,
we see that it does not exist.
we see that it does not exist, which means that we see it does not exist in the eyes of the ultimate analysis, because of which it doesn't mean it does not exist. Because it doesn't exist in the eyes of ultimate analysis, it means it does not exist objectively. This is meaning. Very good. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
In a simple analysis, the pen does not exist apart from the pen maker. So already it cannot be.
Pen maker is what Indrajit just said, like the causal condition. So even though so let's say that, which means that when you see that the pen is dependent on the pen maker, then
One of the things.
no, the point is, how do you know that the pen does not exist objectively? Simply by knowing that the pen exists by dependence on the pen maker does not allow you to understand that it is empty of objective existence. Yes. How do you know that? That's amazing. How do you know it's from the subject? Yes, there's an answer. How do you know it's not from the subject? If you know it's from the subject, you know it's not from the object. That's very good. But how do you know it's from the subject? Very good. Very good. So in a way, what two of them are saying is the same. What your name? Ornella. What Ornella is saying is that as you go deeper meaning ultimate analysis. These are the technical terms that we have to learn. So what Churul said, that as you subject this flower, not a flower, this pen to ultimate analysis by going deeper, closer to this object, we realize that the pen is not there, which means the pen is not from the object. Very good. Anyone else? Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, so this pen may not be a pen to me. I maybe, this structure that you're holding in your hand could be maybe a placement for me. So for me, the pen doesn't exist. It should be a toy. So it depends on my subjective perception that whether or not this is objectively a pen. So that's how I kind of may, like it doesn't exist.
Okay, so what you're saying is that, so some people may use this as a pen, some people may use this as a toy, some people may use this as a stick to beat somebody.
A pen is a functional name.
Yes.
A pen is just a function in that sense. It's not existing as a pen. The pen is a functional name that the user gives it. Because a dog will not call it a pen, he might still play with it. So it exists as something.
It is a okay, it exists as something, not as a pen, but as something there from the object. Right? Something from the object. Objective to real. Not as a pen, but as something. Right? So still something is left there as objective real. That's the problem. You're getting it? Okay. So how do we... Yes. Yes. Okay, not only from the electron microscope, you're from the telescope, from thousands of light years away, distance thousands of light years away from there, you use a telescope, still you not see this. It disappears, right? Okay. So that disappears because it is too tiny. You know, not because it's non-existent, too tiny. Whereas with the electron microscope, you look at it, it disappears not because it's tiny. You're getting it? It disappears not because it is tiny, because it's not there from the object. You're getting this is the difference.
But can you still write with it?
Sorry?
The fact that you look with the microscope doesn't negate the functionality of the pen. Because you can write.
This is a good question.
Because you can't sit on it. You know? Even a fly can sit for it.
This is a good point. Let us not forget it. Say that you look at this through electron microscope, the pen disappears, but it still functions as a pen. You use it, it still can be used as a pen. It cannot be used to milk, or it cannot be used to drive on it and then fly to America, right? So, but it only can be used as a pen. There's the function there. Although as a pen, it may disappear, the functionality does not disappear. You're getting it? Okay. It doesn't mean that I agree with what the Omananda said. You're getting it? I'm simply paraphrasing, making what is said clear. You have to know all these things and then leave no stone unturned. You're getting it? This is very important. Yes.
I'm not sure if this is related, but I'm thinking that pen exists as an interaction between both an object and a subject. Otherwise, there is no. We need to have an observer and something to be observed.
Okay, there should be something there and something as an observer there coming together, then the pen comes into being. There should be something there from the object.
That's one view.
Of course, don't worry. Don't be scared. Right? These are wonderful ideas. Don't be scared. Don't think that I'm going to attack you. Okay, Matthew.
The eye can see, but the eye cannot see itself.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that the eye doesn't exist.
Yes.
Are we talking about this pen or that pen?
This pen.
Yeah.
Which that pen?
Which is functional.
Of course, this is a functional pen.
Like she said, it can't be seen, but this pen can't be seen. But something is there in our head which sees this tiny speck.
No. What she is saying, what Tal is saying, is that the same pen, if you go to a distance, not only from the micro that it disappears, from the macro also it disappears. Many thousands of light, millions of light years distance. From there, if you look at it, you cannot be seen.
I exist. I cannot see itself. It exists.
But the eye is not looking at itself. Eye is not looking at itself. Whereas from there, trying to look at this, not finding it.
How do you know that this is not a pen?
Huh?
Is this a pen?
It's not a pen, of course not.
How do you know? Did you try to write with a pen?
Yeah, because they
Serve a function.
function, yes.
Now, if your pen stopped writing, is it still a pen?
It's still a pen.
Why? You cannot.
Because it doesn't have a pen without an ink.
So it's
It's a pen without...
It's also pen without ink. If you put an ink,
No, I did not say this is not pen because it is a pen without ink. I did not say that.
so a function besides the objectivity, relative objectivity.
So this is a pen. If the ink is all drained, still it is a pen without the ink. Because we can buy fountain pen without ink.
We can fix it. So it can
No.
function-
Fountain pen, brand new fountain pen without the ink. Ink you have to buy separately. There is a pen. You're getting it? Okay. Yes. Last one. No, that's not who said it. Who said it? Don't say what it don't say. What it don't say. You're getting it? I do not say that everything is pen without is a pen without ink. I didn't say this. I just said that the fountain pen, the brand new fountain pen you can buy. What is that? This Mont Blanc pen, Mont Blanc fountain pen, where the ink has to be bought separately, right? That pen is a very expensive pen. It's a pen because it's a very expensive pen, but without the ink, it doesn't function to write. You're getting it? Only you put the ink, then it functions to write. I don't mean to say that everything which is not without the ink should be a pen.
Yes, sir, then it's a plastic or a metal structure until it starts writing. I mean, that's what
You go to Mont Blanc company, ask them whether it's a pen or not.
that's how their obscurations.
Huh? So maybe you are not Ipshita, you are a bunch of atoms. Right? Huh? Who are you?
I'm still finding it.
Who are you? Are you? For the last 2 days you said, I'm Ipshita. I'm not Ishita. I'm Ipshita. You said it. Now you're telling lies. I'm still finding it. You already found yourself. I'm not Ishita, I'm Ipshita. You said it twice. You're telling lies. Right? Oh, you good. Good. Okay. So with this, now the point is, how do we know that the pen doesn't exist objectively? How do we know that this flower doesn't exist objectively? So we've already identified object negation. To understand emptiness of a flower, first essential is essentially identify the object negation. That is, that what is the object negation of the emptiness of the flower? Objective existence of the flower is the object negation of the emptiness of the flower. Okay, what does it mean by objective existence of the flower? A flower existing independently of the subject. Flower existing independently of the subject, the way Jean said, the way Churula said, where Arlon said, Orlena. What Orlenla? Ornella. Okay. What Ornella said, that the flower existing independently of the subject, independently of the thought, independent of thought, independent of the mind, independent of subject, that is known as the objective existence of the flower. So now to see, okay, so the flower existing independent of the subject, it doesn't exist. How do I know this? So we have to be very objective to see if such a flower exists. Something exists independently of our mind. To see such a flower exists. For this, what should we do? What should be the approach? Remember yesterday what we said? If you see me in a water from 1 kilometer away from me, how will you evaluate that I'm in water, or what you see is deceptive? How do you evaluate? Come closer. Because you're not examining if I'm right next to you. You're examining whether I'm in water next to you. You want to see whether I'm in water 1 kilometer away from you. So that place, from where it appears, we should go in that direction. So therefore, when you see this flower objectively, you have to go to the object. Don't go towards the subject. So this object, and your mind is the subject. So to look for the objective flower, don't go towards your subject, go towards the object. You're getting it? Okay. So the mind, usually when we say, there are two ways, let's say there are two ways of seeing this. One is seeing there's a flower there. Another way is go to electron microscope, you see that there's no flower. Right? You're looking at the same object, but one way you see is a flower, other way you see is the absence of flower. These are two things that you see. Now, say what we're trying to see is we're not looking for the flower. Are we? What are we looking for? Objectively existent flower. You're getting it? So if you don't find it, you're not finding the flower. What are you finding? You are not finding the objectively existent flower. You're getting it? So it does not negate the flower. It negates the objectively existent flower. Okay. So now how we do is that we go closer to object because we are examining whether the flower exists objectively. So we have to go towards the object, towards the subject. Towards the object. Going towards the object, the mind which goes closer towards the object is known as Ornella. What she said is, go deeper. Go deeper. What Chudula said is, objective, what is that? Ultimate analysis. The mind which goes closer to the object is known as ultimate analysis. Why it is known as ultimate analysis is that the reality of the same object seen from the closest is known as the ultimate. Seen from distance is known as the conventional. You're getting it? And some of you may be still not too happy. Don't worry. At least learn this. Later on you can inquire more, ask more. So, the mind which goes closer to the object is known as ultimate analysis. One which sees the object, the mind which sees the object from distance is known as conventional analysis. So the mind is of two kinds: ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. You look at the same object, but same object can be seen in two different ways. One from distance, you see this as flower. One from the close by, you see this as no flower. Just atoms, electrons, protons, no flower. You're getting it? Okay. So going closer to the object, you're looking for the objectively existence flower. So going closer to the object, what you see is that you end up seeing atoms. Atoms. Okay. So with this, we see that going closer to the object, if the flower does exist objectively, which you are looking for, if it does exist objectively, there are only two possibilities. There are only two possibilities for the flower to exist objectively. When you subject the flower to ultimate analysis, there are only two possibilities. Only two possibilities. Let's say that somebody said that you have taken my flower, it is in your hand now. Or you have taken my key, it is in your hand now. How many hands I have? 2 hands. Right? Say, you have taken my key and it is in your hand right now. So what are the two possibilities that it can be in my hand? Two possibilities. What are how many possibilities are there that it can be in my hand now? Only two possibilities. Either it should be in my right hand or in my left hand. And I prove that it is not in my left hand as well as right hand. It proves that it is not in my hand. You're getting it? So one possibility is I open my right hand. It's empty. There's no key there. It must be in the other hand, left hand. Now open the left hand. Is also empty. You're getting it? So both the possibilities are ruled out for the key to be existing in my hand. So with this, what do you conclude? That it is not, the key is not in my hands. You're getting it? Likewise, for objective existence of the flower, there are only two possibilities. Only two possibilities for the flower to exist objectively. That By going closer to this object, you end up seeing the atoms. Either the atoms should be the flower, or if the atoms are not flower, you're looking for the objectively existent flower. And if the atoms are not objectively existent flower, remove the atoms. It must be something different from the atoms. Remove the atoms, what happens? What is left? Nothing is left. These are the only two possibilities for the flower to objectively real, objectively existent. These are the only two possibilities. What is the first possibility? By going closer towards the object through ultimate analysis, what you see is the atoms. Atoms should be the flower. Atoms should be the objectively existent flower. Answer is, it is not. Right? Flower is beautiful and atoms are not beautiful. So it is not the flower. So then the first possibility is ruled out. What about the second possibility? That still, if you believe that the flower exists objectively, then it must be different from the atoms. So what do? Remove the atoms and see if it exists as different from the atoms. So what is left there? Nothing is left there. So these are the only two possibilities for the flower to exist objectively. Once these two possibilities are ruled out, it entails. The fourth one is what? Essential for understanding the pervasion, that anything which is empty or being one with its parts, the atoms, and different from its parts, the atoms, it entails the emptiness of objectivity of the flower. Objectivity of the object, objectivity of the flower. You getting it? Okay, now let me repeat it. Okay, sit upright. Okay, sit upright. Usually, when I'm a little lazy, particularly when I'm tired, I don't want to waste my time lying in the bed. I want to think of emptiness. So, where I can get dressed, plus I can meditate. Two things at one point. And when I lie down, meditate emptiness, I go into deep sleep. Finish, no emptiness. You're getting it? So, likewise, if you lie down like this, and this emptiness will never come to you. You're getting it? Sit upright. Okay. So now, let us say that we have identified object negation. And identified object negation, this is extremely important. If you fail to identify object negation well, you will never get the emptiness. You're getting it? And with emptiness, never ever be creative to look for emptiness. Never ever be creative. Because emptiness is something, if you have been creative, you will end somewhere else. You're getting it? So, for a specific journey, you need the help of, don't go by on your own, you will end somewhere else. Whereas bodhicitta, you can be creative. Why? Because bodhicitta, if you study the bodhicitta, we see that it has many of the aspects, somehow we already have the experience. We have already experienced. The only things that we need to consolidate and put them into, say, the proper systematic, the meditation. Otherwise, we already know many of these concepts. So for bodhicitta, if I explain the bodhicitta, you say, yeah, I know this. Sometimes you may be fascinated. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Actually, it was the case. You already know that. But with emptiness, all these things are like, if not 100%, 90% of these things are new information. You have no clue. So don't try to be creative. We have to first listen. Don't follow blindly also. Just get information, and then once you get information, subject them to your critical analysis to see if it makes sense. Once it makes sense, then apply. But initially, you have to take the original information, authentic information. That is so important. If you have been creative, you're mixing your already, say, the concepts which your ignorance created with understanding that you are learning new, mixed things, you will never get the original concepts. So we should be very careful with this. Okay. So and it is going to be an ongoing journey. It's not just 1 week workshop. You getting it? It's your ongoing journey. If you really want to become fearless, you have to go through this journey to wisdom emptiness, study more extensively. Particularly what I would suggest is that I study a church 100 this text, Madhyamaka Avatar, entry into the middle way. This must be studied, and this cannot be studied on your own. It must be studied with the help of a teacher. This is so important. Okay. So with this, let's say that the flower's object, what is the object negation of the emptiness of the flower? So what we said is objective existence of the flower. So what does it mean by objective existence of the flower? A flower existing independently of the subjective mind, which means from the object, nothing to do with your mind. Okay, now we explore if such a thing exists. The flower exists with the object, it exists. We try to explore. How do we explore? Okay, now, one, that the first thing is that remember what Nagarjuna said. In fact, this girl said it. Next to not Anu, somebody was Vidya. So what Vidya said, that go closer to us like the mirage. This is exactly what Nagarjuna said. Nagarjuna, in his text, Ratnamala, Precious Garland, where Nagarjuna said, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If you see me in water from 1 kilometer away from me, oh, he's in water, Dorji is in water. Then you want to evaluate. No, he does not know how to swim. How come that he's in water? So you want to evaluate. How do you evaluate? You come closer towards me. Coming closer towards me, you see everything's so dry, there's nothing there. And then you deduce that what you earlier saw as he being water was deceptive. It was just mirage. You getting it? Okay, likewise, to see whether the flower exists objectively or not, you have to subject the flower to ultimate analysis. Okay. So with the ultimate analysis, what do you mean ultimate analysis? Analysis of the mind which goes closer towards the object. Closer object. Going closer to the object, you will end up seeing two possibilities. One is just atoms are seen, right? Atoms. The flower is so beautiful, but the atoms, these are not at all beautiful. They're just so neutral. You just see the atoms. Okay. How many of you would say that once you reach to that level of seeing the atoms, that, oh, these atoms, 100%, these atoms are not the objective flower. How many of you do come to this conclusion? Raise hands. These atoms are not the objective flower. Raise hands. Okay. If you understood this, you have understood the second essential. What's the second essential? Essential for understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Intrinsically meaning from the object. From the object, the atoms and the flower are not to be identified as one. In other words, in simple terms, from the object, the atoms are not the flower. You getting it? This is meaning. If you agree with me, yes, that's true. The atoms are not the objectively existing flower. If you understand it, so for the time being, let's say that you have understood the second essential. Now, what is the third one? Essential for understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Okay, for this, what you do is that since the first possibility is ruled out, atoms are not a flower, then what is the second possibility? It may be different from the atoms. So how to see whether it is different from the atoms? Remove the atoms, keep the atoms away, what do you see? Nothing is left there as a flower. So how many of you are sure if the atoms are removed, there's nothing to identify as the objective real flower? Makes sense? If you understood this, you have understood the third essential. Essential for understanding the emptiness of the object, the flower being intrinsically different from its parts. You getting it? Okay. So once the first hand is empty, second is empty, what do you deduce? That the original claim that I have the key in my hand is not true. It entails that you finding that the flower is not one with the parts, intrinsically one with the parts, or not intrinsically different with the parts, entails what? Entails that the flower does not exist from the object. Objectively, there's no object. Objectively, there's no flower. You getting it? Okay. How many you would say that? Yeah, that makes sense. Sense. May not be 100%. At least, yes, it does make sense logically. Makes sense? If you get some sense to this, you have understood the be it partially or whatever, you understood the fourth essential. You're getting it? So from this, what do you deduce? Therefore, from the object, there's no flower. You're getting it? Okay. But while all these steps are already fulfilled, still in your mind, something is there. Will come to you. It is invariably how it works. Still something is there. You're getting it? If it happens, don't worry. This is how we have, it is like, say, how many you have the experience of the utensils? Utensils, when you fry something with the cardamom, and if it's burnt, the whole utensil becomes yellow, and you cannot, even with the detergent, it doesn't go away. How many of you had that experience? Raise Haldi, yes, haldi. Raise hands. Turmeric, sorry, not cardamom. Turmeric, thank you. Haldi, yes. Omananda has a great experience. Okay, those who have no experience, raise hands. No, I don't know what it's like. Which means you have never cooked. Vedant, you never cooked. Okay, you never use haldi. Are you sure? Okay, try that with haldi. Huh? Okay, so there is terrible. Look at it. It's not like external haldi. It's not like external turmeric there. It's not like it is like the container itself, the color of the container, yellow, right? And how to remove it? How to remove it? Say like 100 years ago. Say must have happened 100 years ago. How they must have done? Huh? Lemon? Huh? Bleach? 100 to 200 years ago. Right? Ash. You use the ashes? Huh? Okay. Sand? Sand will damage the utensil. You're getting it? Okay. So the best thing is be patient. Be patient. It's not like a grease. It's not like a mud, right? You keep washing it, and it's not gone. No mind, leave it there. Cook the food in it. And next again wash it. Gradually, it will disappear, right? It's like a scratching, right? How many you are good at? How many you are not good at memorizing the text, the verses? Raise hands. Okay, if you're not good at it, but let's say you have to memorize something. So how do you make it happen that you have these 10 verses by heart? How do you do that? Repeat it. Only then gradually it happens. You're getting it? Okay, likewise. Oh, the 4 essentials. Yeah, now I understood 4 essentials. Still something is there. You're getting it? This is like the turmeric stain on your utensil of the mind, right? It will not go away easily, right? You have to repeatedly rub it with the 4 essentials. 4 essentials, read more, meditate, discuss with people, read more, attend teachings. Gradually, it will go away. It's a chronic disease. You getting it? Yes.
Can you maybe relate to the claims people said before?
Like what?
Like the characteristic, or like the object being dependent on both.
Okay. Good. What Vijay just said, your name? Eyal. So what Eyal saying, let's not forget it. What they say, that, okay, it may not be 100% from the object, but partly from the object. Some from the object, some from the subject. Combined together, then something comes into being, right? So this is to be discussed. 2 of you should take charge to remind me. Yes.
When we go further under the analysis and through the atoms, and we see the space, that space exists independently.
Okay, This is a very good discussion. Oh, that's interesting. Anybody who can help me? So what the Sangeetaji is saying is that the flower disappears. That's fine. But you find atoms. Also the space. Not only atoms, we also see the space. So does it exist objectively? Atoms exist objectively. Wow, this is a good question. Anybody who can help me? Okay. The Supro is an interesting guy. I like to ask him. Yes, Supro. Okay, Supro saying, wow. Where did you learn this philosophy? Supro? Where did you learn it before? Where did you learn this philosophy before? No. Where did you learn this philosophy before? Did you learn it before? Emptiness philosophy, did you learn it before? From where? Okay, then I don't think Osho will go to this extent. Huh? Okay, so what Supro is saying, we never know. What Supro is saying is that, okay, this is very important point. You're getting it? Say that what we call is ultimate analysis with respect to the flower. Ultimate analysis with respect to the flower. We see the atoms. If your mind just look, the same object, your mind can look at it at different aspects. One, you look at it there, that flower is not there, number one. Number two, the atoms, number two. There's spaces in between, huge space in between the atoms. There are so many things your mind can be, the same object, you can direct that, to different people, their clothes, the sitting style, their position. There are many aspects which you can look at. So, say the mind, look, this is very important. The mind which tries to go closer to its object, you see the atoms. With respect to the atoms, this mind is not ultimate analysis. This mind is ultimate analysis with respect to the flower, not with respect to the atoms. So if you subject the atoms to ultimate analysis, the way Supro is saying, even the atoms, you subject the atoms to the ultimate analysis, you see that it's made of electrons, protons, neutrons, quarks. If the atom disappears. So you're getting it? So ultimate analysis is the mind, they say, when you speak of the ultimate analysis with the respect to the flower, it's the absence of flower. And if you look at anything else, it is not ultimate analysis. If you look at the flower, if you look at the atoms, it's not ultimate analysis. If you look at the space, it is not ultimate analysis. That falls under the conventional analysis. In other words, the same mind going too close towards the flower, it is ultimate analysis with respect to the flower. The moment it shifts its object to the atoms, it is not ultimate analysis, it's conventional analysis with respect to the atoms. Now you are no more looking at you are no more analyzing the flower. You are analyzing the atoms. So it becomes the conventional analysis with respect to the atoms. And if you face now, if you turn to the space, if you subject the space you see between the atoms to ultimate analysis, even the space will disappear. So let us listen. What do you mean by space? Okay, the space in between you and me, is this what he's saying? Is this a space? This is a visual space. Your eyes can see that. How do you know that there's a space between you and me? Your eyes can see that. This is a visual space. You getting it? This space, even this space, is just what our mind is creating. The moment you subject this space to ultimate analysis, even this space will disappear. You're getting it?
Even if you don't see it, it's still there. For a blind man, there is space. He knows by it.
Okay, so what the Omananda is saying is what came to my mind when I was 20 years old. Right? I used to think like this. Omananda, you must be 20 years old? No. You must be 20 because this thought exactly came to me when I was 20 years old. When I learned about this, so curious to know about emptiness. And then my teacher was saying everything is metal imputed. Then I was in my monastery, and then I had to go to my teacher, Venerable Gyelam Barmashe, on the mountains to translate for him, for his the students who come from America. So even the timing I remember, 8 o'clock, 8 in the morning, and our morning prayer in the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics is from 6, supposed to be finishing by 7, and it gets extended. It gets extended from institute to my teacher's hermitage. It takes like 1 hour. If you run, it can be like half. Then as the morning prayer gets extended, my mind is becoming more and more anxiety. Okay, now what will happen? The appointment is already fixed there, so I have to rush there. And then it finished like 7:30. In half an hour, I have to run. Then I would think that, why should I have to run if everything is mentally imputed? Right? So I can imagine that I'm with my teacher and somebody there in the mountain who want to come down for the shopping. Right? They can imagine that they're in the market. We can just swap, but it's not happening. You're getting it? Although things are mentally imputed, but it's not pure imagination, right? Okay, so these are the questions coming up, and let's not forget what the Vijay said and what AL said. So this and these are things that we've discussed, but we have the.
We will remind you in the 6th day.
We have this text to go. You're getting it. So the question that you have, they are so important, and I think in the next session we can start this. But before that, we have some other things to complete. Okay. Deyata Om Gade Paragade Parasam Gade Bodhisvatyata Om Gade Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatam Om Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatam